Hey, I have an idea for a picture book and I want to submit it to an agent. Cool. What do I do? Good question. Howdy, welcome to my office. Today I'm going to talk about submitting a picture book to an agent or editor. What exactly do you turn in when you submit a picture book? There's really two paths, so let's start with the first one. If you are an author and not an illustrator, it's pretty straightforward. You will submit a manuscript. I've seen several different formats for picture book manuscripts, and usually they look just like any other manuscript for a book. Often, there isn't necessarily any indication it's a picture book. I've also received manuscripts that call out visual elements. If it's important to the story that your character is wearing a red hat or an orange sweater, let the reader know that. But remember, most picture books are only about 600 words or so, so you don't want 3 times that many words in descriptive prose. Try to keep your manuscript mainly to the words that will be appearing in print when the book is published. Trust that an illustrator will find awesome images inspired by your words. Now there is another situation. This is the path 2 I alluded to earlier. Let's say you're an author illustrator. Well, picture books are a great fit for you. But you're going to have to do some more work when you submit something, because an agent or an editor will be reviewing the story and the art. My picture book submissions, the ones acquired and the ones rejected, are in the form of a book dummy. When I started in publishing, I turned in paper dummies. This involved a lot of drawing, photocopying, going to Kinko's to get color prints. Later, I'd print out type and I'd paste things together, gluing the pages back to back and trim them down, make however many I was going to submit, multiple ones. It was a lot of work. Over the past few years, it's become standard for my agent to submit PDFs via email. Now, the art is very loose in a picture book dummy, but there's enough there to visually communicate what's most important. I usually have 2 or 3 pages that are in full color. Often, the art I submit in a book dummy doesn't feature the style or character designs that make it into the published version. But having a few pages in color lets an editor know how you see it, at least at that moment in development. You want to present a book that is as close to perfect as you can get it. Editors are overworked and they cover a lot more material than they did even 15 years ago. Rarely do they have the time to take on a fixer-upper. The key is to submit a book that is spell-checked, carefully revised, and paced correctly. But it should not look like a finished book. What? If I submit a picture book that's finished, that's a lot less work for an editor, right? Let Professor Writing Tip explain it. Actually, I will not pretend to be a character called Professor Writing Tip. So here's the thing. If you've put in the work to create a completely finished picture book, cover to cover, that's not a submission, that's a finished book. It's possible that an agent or editor will feel like you aren't interested in working with them to revise it and edit it, and you really don't want to spend all the time to make a finished 32-page picture book on the off chance a publisher will want it. That's not effective time management. As someone starting out, making your own picture book cover to cover is a great exercise and a good portfolio piece, but it's probably not going to be published. Now, there are exceptions, of course. I made several small books, some of them hand-bound in limited editions when I was starting out. These demonstrated my sensibility and my interest in creating books. I felt I had to make it clear that I wanted to work in picture books, but with no published picture books, I made my own to show that I appreciated how page turns work to build drama and create surprise, and demonstrate having illustrations that worked alongside text, some of the unique issues that we have in picture books. So that's how I do it. I have a book dummy with rough art with a couple sample color pieces in it. I have it as a PDF now, and my agent submits that to an editor. This is the same format that I would submit to an agent for consideration. Of course, these are just my thoughts on this, and I'm sharing how I do it. But I'm sure there are other opinions and methods out there. So ask around and see what works best for you. Now my time is up, and you probably have work to get back to. So thanks for spending 5 minutes with me. I hope this was helpful, and good luck on your projects.